I want to tell you something that happened to me a few years ago. I was in a meeting. Big one. My manager, his manager, a few senior people from another team. And we were going around the table, everyone sharing their thoughts on a project. My turn came, and I said, I remember this so clearly. I said, I don't know if this is right, but maybe we could consider, it might not be the best idea, but perhaps. The senior manager across the table looked at me, not unkindly, and said, just say what you think. I didn't know how. Not because I didn't have thoughts, I had plenty, but every time I opened my mouth in that room, something happened. My words came out smaller than I meant them to, like I was already apologizing before I had even finished the sentence. And I kept thinking, why do some people walk into a room and just take up space? Like they belong there, like their voice is supposed to be heard. Why couldn't I do that? If you've ever asked yourself that same question, stay with us, because today we're going to answer it. Hello, learners. Welcome back to Speak Like You Belong. Today, we are going to answer this concept with Maya.
Hello, learners. I'm Maya. Really glad you're here today, because this one is personal for both of us. If you're new, this is a podcast for non-native English speakers, people who already speak English but are still figuring out how to truly feel at home in it.
And if you've been here a while, you have no idea how much the comments mean to us. Keep them coming.
Okay, time is very valuable, so let's get into it. So Alex, that story you shared at the beginning, I don't know if this is right, but maybe moment. How common do you think that is?
Way more common than people admit. When we talk about speaking up at work, especially in meetings, most people focus on the language side. Like, if I just knew the right phrases, I'd be fine. And yes, phrases help. We'll get to those. But there's something that comes before the phrases, something that nobody really names. And until you deal with that, the phrases don't actually fix it.
And what is that?
It's the belief, deep down, that your voice is a little less welcome than everyone else's. That when you speak, people are going to be thinking about how you're speaking instead of what you're saying. That your accent or your phrasing or the way you pause to find a word, that all of that is going to get in the way.
And so you shrink, before anyone even asks you to.
You pre-apologize. You're protecting yourself from judgment before the judgment even comes.
And listeners, if you're listening to this and thinking, that's me, that's exactly what I do, you're not alone. This is one of the most common things we hear from people in our community. Don't be afraid.
And here's what makes it tricky. The armor doesn't work. When you say, I don't know if this is right, but you think you're being polite, humble. You think it's making people more receptive. But what they actually hear is, this person isn't sure about what they're saying. And then they're not sure about it either.
You mean you've undermined your own idea before anyone else got the chance to?
Yes, every single time. So that's what we're fixing today.
Okay, so practically, what changes?
The first change is just removing the armor. Not, I don't know if this is right, but maybe we could consider just, I think we should do this. That's it. That's the whole change.
And I know some of you just felt uncomfortable reading that. Like, that sounds too aggressive. That sounds like I'm not being polite.
It doesn't sound aggressive, I promise. In American work culture especially, directness is read as confidence. Not arrogance, confidence.
Let's try a few side by side, just so you can hear the difference. I was wondering if it might be possible to maybe push the deadline back a little bit. I think we should push the deadline back by 1 week.
Same idea, completely different energy.
Sorry to interrupt, but I had a small thought about this, if that's okay. Can I jump in here? I have something to add.
Same person, same English, different belief about whether their voice belongs in the room.
And here's the beautiful thing about this shift. You don't have to feel confident to sound confident. You just have to speak like you do. The feeling catches up later.
I did this for months before it felt natural. I would say the direct thing, heart pounding, totally unsure, and people would respond like it was the most normal thing in the world. Because to them, it was.
The room isn't watching you the way you think it is. They're listening to what you're saying. Give them something worth listening to.
Okay, 2 very specific moves. Things you can do in your next meeting. Tomorrow, if you have one.
Get your notes out for this part. Seriously.
Move 1. Prepare one thing. Before any meeting, think of one thing you want to say. One question, one idea, one observation. Just one. You don't need to have 10 thoughts ready. You need one. Because once you say one thing, you've broken the silence. And the second thing comes much easier.
The hardest part of speaking up in meetings is always the first time. After that, your brain relaxes. You've already proved to yourself that you can do it.
So before your next meeting, ask yourself, what's one thing I actually think about this topic? Write it down if you need to. And then, say it. Out loud. In the room. That's it. One thing.
Move 2. The follow-up.
What's that?
So someone makes a point in the meeting, and instead of staying quiet, you say one of these. That connects to something I was thinking about. Or, building on what's said, or simply, I agree with that, and I'd add. You're not starting from nothing. You're connecting to what's already there. It's so much easier than launching a brand new idea cold.
And it makes you look like you're listening, which you are. But now people can see it.
These 2 moves, one prepared thing and one follow-up, that's enough to completely change how you show up in meetings. You don't need 20 new phrases. You need these 2 habits, practiced consistently.
And look, you're going to have meetings where it still doesn't feel easy, where your voice still comes out a little smaller than you meant. That's okay. It's a process. What matters is that you keep trying.
You know what I keep coming back to from Alex's story at the beginning? That senior manager who said, just say what you think. He wasn't being harsh. He was giving you something. He was saying, your thoughts matter here. Say them.
Yeah, it just took me a while to believe that. And maybe that's where some of you are right now. You have the thoughts. You have the ideas. You're sitting in those rooms with something real to contribute. You're just not sure the room wants to hear it. It does. Your voice belongs in that meeting. Not someday when your English is better, not after you've been there longer. Now. As you are.
Here's what we want you to do. Before your next meeting, decide on one thing you're going to say. Write it down if it helps. And then say it. And after, come back here. Tell us what happened, what you said, how it felt. Did it work? Was it scary? Did someone actually respond? We want the real story, not the polished version, the real one.
Because that's what this community is for. Real people, real situations, figuring this out together.
We'll see you in the next one.
Take care of yourselves. And next meeting you're in, say the thing. Just say it. You've got this.